Hi, Dr. William Lee here, physician, scientist, and author of the New York Times bestselling book, Eat to Beat Disease. I'm back with some new research about foods that can boost your body's health defense systems.
Do you know some of the drinks you enjoy could be weakening your body's natural ability to heal and fight cancer? Stay tuned as we reveal 3 beverages that harm stem cells and negatively impact your health. But that's not all. We'll also introduce you to 3 powerful drinks that not only stimulate stem cells, but also help combat cancer and other diseases, supporting your body's natural defenses. If you commit to these drinks, you'll start noticing improvements in your health within just 2 weeks. Your daily choices matter, especially when it comes to what you drink. Some beverages weaken stem cells, making it harder to fight diseases, while others boost your body's natural defenses, stimulate stem cells, and combat cancer. A good friend of mine, Mr. Martins, tried a few of these powerful drinks while cutting out harmful ones. In just 2 weeks, he noticed subtle but meaningful improvements in his energy and overall health. These 3 drinks that can kill cancer and fight other diseases could make a big difference for you too. If you're excited to learn more about this topic, comment, "I'm ready," and I'll be sure to give your comment a heart. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more valuable health tips. Now, let's dive in. Let's talk about importance of hydration and stem cells. Proper hydration is essential for maintaining optimal body functions and supporting stem cell activity. Water is the foundation of metabolic processes, ensuring nutrients are delivered to cells and waste is removed efficiently. Without adequate hydration, these processes slow down, impairing stem cells' ability to regenerate tissues, repair the heart, and promote longevity. Stem cells rely on a well-hydrated environment to thrive and perform their critical roles, such as repairing damaged organs and supporting the immune system. Dehydration disrupts this balance, reducing the effectiveness of stem cells and weakening the body's ability to heal and fight diseases. By prioritizing hydration, you create an environment where stem cells can function at their best, enhancing overall health and resilience. If you're ready to prioritize hydration and boost your health, comment "Stay hydrated" and take the first step towards supporting your stem cells and overall wellness. What to avoid: harmful substances that damage stem cells. Certain substances can significantly hinder the effectiveness of stem cells, affecting the body's ability to heal and regenerate. Let's look at 3 key offenders: alcohol, added sugars, and caffeinated energy drinks. Alcohol. I have something to say about alcohol because I get asked this all the time. Dr. Lee, red wine is good for you, right? Well, now I just read that all wine's bad for you. And what I basically say when it comes to alcohol, because it's a triggering and somewhat controversial point. It is true that many epidemiological studies have shown that drinking a glass or 2, very moderate, red wine is associated with some beneficial health outcomes, lower risk of some diseases. But I will tell you that in no study, no research is alcohol, ethanol, okay, the stuff that's underlying, your whiskey, your beer, your wine. It's the alcohol is not actually good for you. Alcohol is a toxin. Actually, and so excessive alcohol consumption is one of the primary culprits when it comes to harming stem cells. Alcohol is metabolized into acetaldehyde, a toxic compound that generates oxidative stress and damages stem cell DNA. This reduces their ability to repair tissues and regenerate cells, weakening the body's natural healing processes over time. Chronic alcohol consumption also suppresses stem cell activity, especially in organs like the liver and heart, slowing down regeneration, accelerating aging, and increasing the risk of diseases, including cancer. Additionally, alcohol impairs sleep quality, particularly deep sleep, when stem cells are most active. Without restorative sleep, stem cells cannot function effectively, slowing down the body's natural repair and recovery processes. Human body's amazing. There's no such thing as a superfood. It's a super body. And even if we slug down a glass of wine or sip a glass of wine or have a drink or two, our body will bounce back. It's only, again, continuous abuse of that system that lets you break down our engine. But alcohol is something very specific. And here's how I explain it. As long as humans have been growing grain, they've been fermenting it and creating alcohol. Alcohol is part of human tradition. We celebrate main events of our life with it, births, deaths, holidays. Alcohol is part of human society. I don't think we should demonize alcohol. I think that, we should just recognize it's part of the traditions of human tradition. But we should know that in no case is the ethanol actually good for you. It's just something that we do. All right. But that, and that's why we should actually think about it as a tradition rather than as a health food.
Yeah.
And I think that allows us to actually accommodate it in moderation in ways that are actually going to be allowable if that's your preference to celebrate, a wedding with a glass of champagne. Like, there's no shame to it. That's a human tradition. We're all human. Embrace that part of who we are. Added sugars. Consuming foods and drinks loaded with added sugars is another major contributor to stem cell damage. High sugar intake creates an acidic environment in the body, which inhibits stem cell regeneration. When the body is overwhelmed with sugar, it prioritizes managing sugar toxins over supporting stem cell health and repair functions. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance and metabolic disorders like type 2 diabetes. These conditions disrupt normal metabolic processes, preventing stem cells from regenerating damaged cells and tissues effectively. Caffeinated energy drinks, which combine excessive caffeine and artificial additives, also pose risks to stem cell health. The high caffeine content overstimulates the nervous system, forcing the body to work harder than necessary and depleting essential nutrients that support stem cell regeneration. Additionally, energy drinks often lead to dehydration by increasing urination and reducing the body's fluid retention. Dehydration further impairs the body's ability to support stem cell activity, making it harder to repair tissues or defend against illnesses like cancer. By avoiding or limiting alcohol, added sugars, and caffeinated energy drinks, you can protect your stem cells, enhance your body's natural healing processes, and reduce the risk of chronic diseases. Making healthier choices is a vital step toward promoting longevity and overall well-being. And so I try to bring a little bit of clarity to, what are the three beverages that are unquestionably healthy for you. There's no real controversy of them, all right? Because other drinks like juices and sodas, lots of controversy, lots of data. But the three things I call the holy trinity of beverages are: one, green tea. Green tea is a nutritional powerhouse packed with antioxidants and bioactive compounds that support stem cell activation and fight cancer. Its key component, EGCG, epigallocatine gallate, is a potent polyphenol known for reducing inflammation, combating oxidative stress, and improving lipid levels. These benefits not only enhance stem cell function, but also create an environment that inhibits cancer cell growth, making green tea a top choice for both prevention and regeneration. Regular consumption of green tea also helps lower stress hormones, such as catecholamines, which can hinder cellular repair. Its anti-inflammatory effects further reduce chronic inflammation, a significant factor in the development of diseases like cancer. By boosting the body's natural defenses, green tea supports overall health while stimulating stem cell activity. But what I point out in my book is not just green tea. It's different kinds of green tea. Matcha tea is actually good for you. Oolong tea, which is slightly fermented green tea, also has metabolic benefits, also has polyphenols. And then for green tea, if you have matcha, which you find in a ceremonial tea, you find in a Japanese restaurant, it's bright green tea. It's kind of opaque because it's actually made with powder. And it's the entire tea leaf that's powdered. A lot of people don't realize this, but matcha is super packed with polyphenols. You know why? Matcha is grown in a very particular way. 28 days before they pick the tea leaf to make matcha, they put it under shade. They basically cover it with a canopy, and the shade is there. So the tea, in response to the tea leaf, tea plant, in response to shade, actually wants to make more polyphenols. So they make anywhere from 30 to 300 times more polyphenols under the shade. All right. And then what happens when you pick the leaf, you cut off the stem, and then they dry and powder the entire leaf. And so that's why you have so much more polyphenol. But green tea isn't the only tea with these benefits. Black tea, often overlooked due to its fermentation process, also has the ability to double stem cell counts when consumed regularly. However, there's a catch. Adding cow's milk to black tea can trap its beneficial polyphenols in fat micelles, reducing their absorption in the gut. To maximize the benefits, enjoy black tea plain or with alternatives like almond, soy, or cashew milk. Another excellent option is milk oolong tea, a Taiwanese variety with a naturally creamy flavor, allowing you to enjoy all the health benefits without the drawbacks of dairy. So matcha tea actually is quite amazing. Actually done a study to show that matcha tea extracts can kill breast cancer stem cells.
Wow.
I'm always amazed by that because, look, as somebody who's been involved with biotech development and cancer treatment development, finding something that could kill stem cells, cancer stem cells, like breast cancer stem cells, which is what makes cancers come back, is a holy grail. We don't have a drug for it, but here, matcha tea actually been shown in the lab to actually be able to do that. To me, is actually really jaw-dropping. Then going down into even more fermented tea, because traditionally, again, this idea that in our wellness community, we wind up having all these mantras, must drink green tea and oxidized fermented tea is no good. Turns out that's not true. The science is showing that oolong tea, which is slightly fermented, also good for your metabolism. You can lose your waist, you can shrink your waist size, your waist circumference, lose body fat. And then even perhaps more surprising, if you take the extreme of fermented smoky dark teas, there's a tea that I write about called Pu-erh tea, P-U-E-R-H, one of your favorites, right? Yeah. One of mine as well. This comes from a village of Pu-erh that back thousands of years actually traded tea on the Silk Road. So they smoked the tea, they fermented it so it would actually survive the tea journey. And it turns out research had been done to show that Pu-erh tea lights up your brown fat, burns up, triggers your excess fat burning by burning the cells, decreases your stem cells from making more fat, and fats, visceral fat as well. Quite remarkable that this fermented tea that's supposedly, fermented, can't be good, doesn't have any of the polyphenol stuff, wrong. And on top of that, they've actually discovered just a few years ago that there is this tradition, 1,000-year-old tradition of making Pu-erh tea. There's even a bacteria, a probiotic that actually the bacteria is grown in the way that's fermented. In fact, they call it Pu-erh psilus, like a bacillus that actually grows in Pu-erh tea. So this is actually a probiotic tea, which to me is remarkable. And not only does it improve gut health, it's good for your metabolism as well. So it fires up your brown fat. So again, both green and black tea are excellent choices for enhancing stem cell activation and fighting cancer. Incorporating these teas into your daily routine can help regenerate tissues, strengthen your body's defenses, and promote long-term health. Mr. Martin started drinking green tea after my recommendation, and in just 2 weeks, his energy improved and he felt noticeably healthier. If you're ready to give this a try, comment yes to green tea and begin your journey to a healthier, stronger body. 2, coffee. Coffee is another powerful drink that supports stem cell activation and overall health. Its key component, chlorogenic acid, is a natural antioxidant known for improving blood flow, enhancing metabolism, and stimulating stem cell activity. By boosting the body's ability to regenerate and repair tissues, coffee serves as a strong ally in preventing chronic diseases and supporting longevity. Coffee has chlorogenic acid and many other polyphenols, but the chlorogenic acid not only boosts your health defenses, but it also triggers your metabolism and it stimulates your metabolism from going as well. A little bit of the caffeine, which I'm able to tolerate. Not everybody can tolerate caffeine, but I'm able to tolerate the caffeine. Caffeine also stimulates not only your your brain, but also stimulates your metabolism as well. And research highlights coffee's effectiveness, with studies showing that consuming 2-3 cups daily can reduce the risk of all-cause mortality by 30%. This means coffee drinkers have a significantly lower risk of diseases, including heart disease and cancer. Organic coffee, in particular, contains higher levels of chlorogenic acid due to the absence of synthetic pesticides and fertilizers, making it a superior choice for maximizing health benefits. Coffee slows down cellular aging. If you want to actually be in the moment and not speed up your aging, it turns out that coffee can actually do that. There is a bioactive in coffee
beans called chlorogenic acid. And this has been studied in human subjects drinking coffee. 1 to 3 cups a day of drinking coffee has been shown to slow down the burn rate of your telomeres. These are the caps at the end of your DNA that burn down like a fuse that reflect how fast you're actually aging. It's kind of the clock the timer that gets started from the time you're born. And the older you are, the fuse starts to shrink. Drinking coffee slows that process down. And all you got to do to get that effect is to drink anywhere from 1 to 3 cups of coffee a day. I easily meet that level myself.
Coffee also strengthens the immune system and lowers inflammation by improving gut microbiome health. These properties not only promote overall wellness, but also help create a defense against disease progression. To fully enjoy its benefits, opt for black coffee without added sugars or creamers that can negate its positive effects. Adding organic coffee to your daily routine can be a simple yet impactful step toward better health and longevity.
Coffee actually protects stem cells in your body. Now, our stem cells live in our bone marrow and they come out into our bloodstream to repair us from the inside out. Happens all the time. But as we get older, our stem cells are a little bit less vigorous than when we're younger. And a lot of things can affect this, including oxidative stress from the environment and just simply aging. And so one of the things that coffee does is it acts as a shield to our stem cells so they can actually keep on working as robustly and vibrantly as possible, regenerating us from the inside out.
Tyson started drinking organic coffee as I recommended, and within 2 weeks, his energy improved and he felt more focused and refreshed. If you're ready to harness the health benefits of coffee, comment coffee power and start your journey toward better health and longevity. 3. Dark chocolate, hot chocolate. Dark chocolate, particularly when consumed as a high flavanol hot beverage, offers impressive health benefits for stem cell activation and overall well being. Flavanols, the active compounds found in dark chocolate, are known to improve blood flow, reduce inflammation, and boost the body's ability to repair tissues.
But very importantly, how do we make sense of all the information out there showing that chocolate can actually have dangerous levels of heavy metals? All right. Chocolate is good for you. Chocolate is bad for you. Which one is it? And how do we actually address this issue? I'm going to lay it on the table because I'm a chocolate lover and tell you how I go about thinking about a solution. All right. First of all, you got to know chocolate is a confection. It's candy. Chocolate is actually made with cacao. Cacao is a plant-based food which contains polyphenols. The more cacao you have in the chocolate, the darker the chocolate, right? It's 70% cacao, 80% cacao, even 100% cacao. That's when you actually have a lot of the polyphenols from the cacao plant-based. One of the things that we look for is for healthy chocolate is the percent higher levels of cacao. The more, the better. I always say 80% or higher is exactly what you want.
Studies reveal that drinking high flavanol hot chocolate twice a day can double stem cell levels within a month, enhancing the body's natural regenerative processes. To maximize these benefits, it's important to choose dark chocolate with 80% or higher cacao content. This ensures the retention of the potent flavanols that provide anti-inflammatory and cancer-fighting properties. Lower quality chocolates, or those with added sugars and dairy, do not deliver the same effects.
Okay, now what does dark chocolate do for you? It does a lot of things. One of the most important things the polyphenols do is it recruits your stem cells. All right, that's right. We all have stem cells in our body. They were left over when we were growing in our mom's belly in the womb, and they formed our organs. All right. So when we were actually born, there were extra stem cells left over, about 70 million. All right. And they all got packed away, stored away in our bone marrow. So our bone marrow is the little the spongy stuff in the middle of our bone. If you ever took a chicken bone and broke it in half, you would actually see that brown stuff in the middle. That's bone marrow. That's packed with stem cells. So eating chocolate, the chocolate bioactives called proanthocyanidins actually calls out those stem cells into our bloodstream. It signals to them so they come flying out of our bone marrow like bees coming out of a hive, and they circulate around our blood. And you know what they do? They look for areas that need to be fixed, like potholes in the road. They're looking for where they need to patch. And not just in your blood vessels, although that's a very important place for dark chocolate to have its activity. The proanthocyanidins, stem cells actually fix your blood vessels, but also other organs as well, right? The stem cells are going everywhere: your brain, your heart, your liver, your lungs, everywhere. So dark chocolate is actually a way of stimulating these stem cells to come on out in order to be able to do their thing.
When prepared as a hot drink, dark chocolate not only provides a rich, satisfying flavor, but also serves as a functional beverage that supports stem cell activity, improves circulation, and contributes to overall health. Incorporating hot chocolate made from high quality dark chocolate into your daily routine is a simple and enjoyable way to support your body's ability to heal, regenerate, and protect against disease.
And it turns out that studies have looked at people who have had dark chocolate, actually cacao beverage, and they found that having the cacao beverage actually helps the blood vessels become more resilient because the stem cells have actually come out and fixed and repaired and regenerated the areas of the blood vessels in order to keep them as healthy and as resilient as possible. All right, so this is basically taking about 2 cups of hot cocoa, dark chocolate, for a month, 30 days. And some people were able to double the number of stem cells that come out of their blood vessels. Okay, so we now know that dark chocolate is good and why it's good for us. But what about this issue about heavy metals? What's up with that? All right, remember I told you cacao is a plant-based food. Comes from the cacao pod. If you haven't seen a cacao pod, it kind of looks like a hard football. It's a little bit skinnier than a football. All right, it's heavy though, heavy like a football. And inside are these seeds that get roasted and fermented. Those are the beans that goes on to actually be crushed and powderized and turned into cocoa powder and made into chocolate. Okay, plant-based. All right, that means that it grows out of the ground from a cacao tree. Now, the cacao trees tend to grow in tropical areas, especially volcanic areas. And what happens in these tropical volcanic areas is that there's a lot of activity, geological activity, and deep inside the earth are heavy metals. All right, we're surrounded by heavy metals, arsenic, lead, cadmium, scary sounding, right? Okay, you don't want them from a factory spewing it out into the air around your house. But I can tell you that present in the earth are natural amounts of these cadmium and lead and arsenic. All right, so in plants growing around volcanic areas, you actually tend to have the roots take it up and you wind up actually having more in the environment. And so cacao beans, pods tend to pick up more heavy metals. That's one of the reasons, by the way, that dark chocolate has these heavy metals. All right. Another reason that heavy metals can actually accumulate is, unfortunately, many of these cacao plantations are in industrialized developing countries where they're not taking care of the environment. So some of the cacao trees are near toxic dumps. Now you've got dust flying everywhere. That's not healthy for you. These toxic metals, lead and cadmium, and so on and so forth. And a lot of times these cacao pods are opened up and the seeds are dried right out in the open, right? Bright, sunny, tropical environment, drying the seeds. Well, guess what? If there's lead or cadmium, heavy metals in the air, in the dust, they might fall down onto those seeds. They're going to get crushed. So those are two explanations for how cacao even gets any heavy metal. And although we haven't really checked yet, I bet if you checked many plant-based foods that grow in those areas, you'll also see heavy metals present. But we now know chocolate products can actually have it because there was a report, research report done by Consumer Reports, which is sort of a research group that evaluates products for quality and safety and construction and all that kind of stuff. And what they did is they looked at 28 chocolate bars and then 48 chocolate-based products. This was published a few years ago across 7 categories. So hot chocolate mix, chocolate bars, and even chocolate chips. And what they were looking for are 2 heavy metals. They were looking for lead, all right, and they were looking for cadmium. And what they found is that every single product had a little bit, at least a little bit of lead or cadmium. Now, why is that important? Well, if you have a little bit of lead or cadmium, no big deal. But if you continuously eat this, ingest it, and you start accumulating lead and cadmium into your bloodstream, well, it's a setup for problems. Accumulation in our tissues, in our body, of heavy metals can cause arrhythmias, heart problems. It can interfere with the generation of red blood cells, so you wind up having anemia. It can interfere with your brain and cause memory loss. It also can accumulate and damage your kidney as well. So heavy metals, nothing to joke about. These are actually really concerning contaminants in our environment. So what this Consumer Reports study did is take a look at all these chocolate products and figure out which ones actually had unacceptably high levels. So I'm not going to go into all the different products that they tested. You can look them up yourself on Consumer Reports. Just go on Google and search Consumer Reports, chocolate, and heavy metals, and you'll find that report right out there. But in this report, the part I want to call your attention to is that they also found chocolate products that actually had the lowest levels of heavy metals. So these would be, of all the chocolates, the safest ones to have. So let me tell you what they are. One of them is called masked organic dark chocolate, 80%. Okay, that's a safe one. Then Coca Teza organic dark chocolate, 70%. That one also had low lead. Coca, it's a Coca. Then Ghirardelli intense dark chocolate, 86% cacao. All right, that's a good dark chocolate, 86%. A lot of those polyphenols. And then Ghirardelli intense dark chocolate, 72% cacao. Those actually led the pack.
If you're ready to embrace the power of dark chocolate, comment chocolate boost and take the first step toward better health and regeneration. Incorporating drinks like green tea, coffee, and high flavanol hot chocolate into your routine can boost stem cells, enhance metabolism, and improve overall health. Combine these with proper hydration and a balanced diet while avoiding alcohol and excess sugar to support your body's natural healing and longevity. If you found this helpful, don't forget to share this with your loved ones or friends so they can try these drinks out, and subscribe to the channel for more health tips.